Hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of our series, Hometown Heroes, where we sit down for a chat with members of the Asian American community who have served our society. So I'm Sammy.
And I'm Shrifrada.
And we'll be your hosts for this episode. Our special guest for today is someone you may have read or seen in the news before, so let's give a huge welcome to Patrick Mock. Yay! Patrick, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm the manager of 46 Mott. I think what I became known for is I'm the brainchild of the Light Up Chinatown project, which what we did, we added lanterns and lighting all along Mott Street to make it look more festive and attractive to draw more foot traffic down into the neighborhood. And I'm also known for the meals that I've been giving out every day since COVID to the homeless and the elderly in the neighborhood.
So 46 Mock Bakery is in Chinatown in Manhattan. And throughout the pandemic, Patrick Mock, he's been a large force in keeping Chinatown alive during this time of economic downtown.
Yeah, that's honestly so amazing. So before we get started though, you may have noticed, or I don't know if you can see this, but we have a few snacks here. So basically we have like an Asian snack mukbang thing going on. So I have over here a custard bun and then some Japanese wafers. Over here I have some Japanese chips, and then finally I have Korean barbecue style pork jerky. Shrifrada, what about you?
I have some tea. It's a bit hot. I just made it. It's milk tea. You can't really see it. It's like pressed rice, and you cook it. And I also have this one sweet. It's made of like this one type of grain.
It's technically my lunchtime, so not only I have snacks, I have my lunch. So I got like my steamed fish over rice, my herbal tea, of course, and my bujaiko for dessert.
Awesome, I love that. All right, so now we're going to get into some information about your bakery.
So can you tell us how you started working at the bakery?
So I started working here 4 years ago. It's more of the boss at 46 Mott asked me for help, and I just said okay, and the rest was history. So
that's awesome. And what are some of your favorite foods from the bakery?
bujaiko is one of them, but tofu pudding for sure. That's one of our best sellers, and our grass jelly. Yeah, I grew up eating the grass jelly. It's the Chinese jello for us growing up. You know,
that's
like
awesome.
Everyone had their like colorful red, yellow, green jello. We had our grass jelly.
So your bakery is Cantonese, right?
Yes, we do a lot of Cantonese classics.
Okay, yeah, that's so cool. And so you're at your bakery right now. Where exactly in your bakery are you?
So I'm in the back. Usually you guys see the fridges. I'm in the back of the fridge right now. So like we're in the back where we like operate and like package everything. And yeah, as you guys could tell, like we're still working. Like you see, like there's the soy milk cooling, or they're getting ready to bottle. My kitchen is live right now, and I'm in the back doing this.
That's so cool. So can you give us like a tour of the rest of your bakery as well?
All right, let's start from outside. This is the back. Actually, let's do this backwards. This is like the back of 46 Mott. Let's go up to the kitchen. Our kitchen's small. It's like this kitchen behind us, less than 100 square feet, but we did over 100,000 meals already in this small kitchen. See, all we have is 2 soup pot stoves, a steamer, a wok, an oven in the back, and that's it. Then now we're walking to the front. See, now these are the fridges that you see coming into 46. That's the frozen one. Mm-hmm. That's the where all the cold herbal jelly and the grass jelly and buns are. The bun fridge is here. And then you have the drink fridge right here. Then walking to the tables, you see our rice noodles over here. See our rice noodles.
Oh, I love rice noodles.
Our bean sprouts. Then our rice cakes and bujaiko. Mm-hmm. And then our fried fish skin. Then our tofu, more rice noodles. Then our tofu, and then our sticky rice. All the sticky rice. Yeah. There's more. Now let's go to behind the counter where you guys see this bucket. This is our signature bucket where our best seller is our tofu pho. Yeah, so like if you ever get lost on Mott Street trying to find where 46 Mott is, not only you could look for the sign, or the color it's red and green, but we could also look for the watch guy. See, the watch guy is like our landmark. He's here.
Yeah.
So if you can't find the store, you find the watch guy. You find the store. So that's a tour of the store. Yeah, lanterns are in the back. So yeah, it's crazy how these lanterns survived 2 hurricanes and 4 snowstorms, and it's still going.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So the pandemic, it hit everyone hard. So like, what were the short and long-term effects that the pandemic had on your bakery or like on Chinatown in general?
When COVID hit the United States was March, but we were feeling the effects of COVID way before March. Chinatown was feeling it in January because of the xenophobia and racism, where people was thinking how the virus was in all the Chinatowns when it was overseas, and what didn't help was how our president with his words of hate was affecting our communities as well. And then we lost our busiest season of the year, which is our Lunar New Year's, which was right after. So we got hit hard back to back, and then in March the shutdown happened. Long-term effects that happened, we had businesses in Chinatown that's over 50, 60, 70 years that not only survived 9/11, survived Hurricane Sandy, survived the financial crisis, but what they didn't survive was COVID-19. At least 30% of Chinatown didn't make it. Didn't open back, and during that time, 46 maca was gonna become that statistic until my boss had to come to me one day, just talking to me. He's like, it's either we close down for good or it's just me and him running the store and just grinding out and see what happens. And luckily we went through the see what happens route, and one led to another. I started thinking a lot more, running the shop, taking care of the customers, finding ways of helping, and like one idea led to another, and every idea I had, I took initiative to pursue them, whether it's feeding the homeless to my Light Up Chinatown, and it led me to where I'm at today. So
Yeah, so you mentioned Lunar New Year a little bit before. So I would assume that before the pandemic, Chinatown was pretty busy during Lunar New Year. Am I right?
let's say in January, when I first started, 60 to 70% of businesses was gone already in January. Little Italy, which was 1 block down from Chinatown on Mulberry, they were still booming and packed with tourists, eating at their restaurant. A lot of people in the streets. While you walk to Mott Street, 1 block, it was a ghost town.
How did you guys get back on your feet? Not just you, but like Chinatown in general. Like, what were some of the steps that were taken?
I mean, we're still trying to get back on our feet. Like, it's not over yet. We're all still, figuring out what's next because we're still in a pandemic. We don't know what the future is. Tourism is dead, at least year and a half, and Chinatown relies heavily on tourism. Because we rely heavily on it, it's not going to be back for next year and a half. It's how can we find ways to sustain as many stores and businesses as we can, and this is where you need to get creative. And for me, one of my ways of getting creative was the Light Up Chinatown project. So my friends from Sun Chinatown Love to Welcome to Chinatown to Think Chinatown, they're all having their creative ways of, whether it's merchandising, doing grants, or doing gift and meal programs, to sustain these stores with revenue and funding to keep them afloat.
Yeah, so besides the Light Up Chinatown initiative, I've seen this all over like social media and stuff, and I'm sure our viewers have seen it too. But there was one video, I think that's where you first appeared online, where you were confronting Mayor Bill de Blasio. Yeah, so I'm sure that I don't know, while I was watching it, I was getting stressed out. But what were some of the thoughts that were going through your head when you were in that moment?
If you guys saw the video, you guys could tell I was very flustered. My veins were popping out. I'm like, are you serious? Yes, it was great that our mayor came down to promote outdoor dining in the neighborhood, but a photo op doesn't do its job. You need to execute what you're gonna say. Words are cheap. Action speaks louder than words, and I kind of want to hold our mayor accountable during that time, telling how much we were hurting. Because during that time, I was doing 3,000-4,000 meals a week for the neighborhood. I'm still feeding the neighborhood every day, the homeless and the elderly. I'm on the front lines every night, every day. Like, I see what's going on. If you want to know what's going on in the neighborhood, I'm one of the best people you can talk to. I'm in front of you. I'm trying to tell you. We're having a good conversation. But right in the middle of it, just because there might be a disagreement, you just turn your back on me. Like, that's very disrespectful. And I think that's what everyone saw, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty much how I saw it too.
So you talked about providing the community with food. Were there any specific moments or any specific experiences that prompted you to start doing this?
What sparked me into doing this project initiative was, you know how during the stay-at-home order, everyone was not supposed to come out every day, was like come out once a week to buy like groceries, buy what you need. But I was having elders and seniors coming out every day into my store buying cup noodles and sticky rice. And the thing is, the way they were eating my cup noodles was kind of weird for me because they would finish the cup noodle, go back to the hot water machine, add more hot water, and drink it all as a soup. And then until one day I got like curious, so I asked them like, "Why are you doing that? So unhealthy, and you're doing this every day." And then they told me, "Oh, it's a 2-for-1 meal. It's cheap and inexpensive, and it fills me up." Then I thought to myself, they might be homeless. And during that time, like the store wasn't doing well. You know, we're already like 3-4 months of bad business and behind on rent. So it was like, you know, a do or die for the store. But during that time, in our time of need, the customers that helped us was the homeless and the elderly. And I appreciate that a lot. And I wanted to find a way to give back. And that's where, you know, our meals initiative idea started. And how it came to blossom was when I talked to our assemblywoman, Yuli New, about it. And then she found me my first donor, which gave me enough to do 100 meals a day for 10 days. But then when more people found out about it and started donating, fast forward to the 16th, we've did over 100,000 meals already.
That's really amazing. That's incredible.
Yeah. The quote that I live by every day is, "A simple act of kindness creates endless ripples." With everything I've been doing, like the ripples are everywhere right now. You know, the initiative is bigger than me now. Whether it's the meals initiative of people I helped or affected, or even to the Light Up Chinatown project, where, you know, it's a multi-generational project in the neighborhood that everyone is proud to be a part of. You know, whether you donated to the project, or whether you help promote it, or whether even you take a selfie and you just share it with your friends and family. That's you're actually helping the neighborhood or coming down to see the lights. You know, that's the endless ripples of kindness that I wanted to see, but I didn't expect to be at this scale internationally now these days.
So about the Light Up Chinatown initiative, could you give us an overview of what the initiative is exactly, and then what prompted you to start it?
Light Up Chinatown project is lighting up the neighborhood with lights and lanterns to make it look more festive and bright, because during the height of pandemic, Chinatown was pitch black dark. The street lights were broken, so not only when the streets are dark, it made you feel unsafe as well. So, you know, if you have a brighter street, you feel more comfortable walking. And that's how sparked the Light Up Chinatown idea. I was talking to a couple community leaders about it, and they were like, "Yeah, we love the idea." But at the same time, they all thought I was crazy because it's a very expensive project. Raising that type of funds was going to be a little bit difficult. But at the same time, I was trying to get the community together, because Chinatown runs on different generations of the neighborhood. And one thing that's hard when you work with so many different generations is communication. But because of this project, it brought like at least 3-4 generations of the neighborhood together, working together on this project. I feel very proud of that.
Yeah, that's amazing, getting all those people to work together.
Yeah, before COVID, like I could tell you this for sure. Like a lot of these people, they never work together because everyone's doing their own thing. Everyone's busy with their own lives. Some of them couldn't even like stand each other. I hate to say it, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I saw the pictures online too, and like all over the news. It was so pretty too, just like seeing all the lights there. It was really heartwarming.
So other than like the generational gaps and then getting the support from the community, what are some other challenges that you faced when starting this initiative?
Having people take you seriously, being realistic with your ideas. Like everyone just thought I was very idealistic, but at the same time, I needed to prove that my ideas are doable if you put your mind to it, and learning how to work with different groups of people in different generations. Like I said, communication was key of my success, and learning how to communicate with other generations, especially the older generations and understanding how the older generations comes from the generations of scarcity. What that means is the generations before us, they came to the United States either with just the clothes on their backs or with nothing at all, immigrating here to a foreign new country. While our generation, we're like second generation immigrants. We know what's going on. It's easier for us to assimilate, to understand. We come from a generation of abundance where, we don't really understand what that generation of scarcity is, why sometimes they're more conservative and how we're a bit more progressive and how we think, while the older generation is more quiet and conservative. Understanding that abundance and scarcity helps a lot, especially talking with the elders of Chinatown. Another thing is learning how to swallow your pride sometimes. When you're young, it's easy to be ambitious, confident, and prideful, but sometimes when you work with other groups, humility is key. I learned a lot from that during the Light Up Chinatown project.
So are you going to do something similar to the Light Up Chinatown project this year?
Well, Light Up Chinatown project never slowed down. We have been doing it phase by phase. Right now we're at phase 5. The next streets that we're gonna light up in Chinatown is the rest of Bayard Street and Elizabeth, between Canal and Bayard. So far we light up 2 blocks on Bayard Street. We light up Mulberry Street. We light up 2 blocks on Mott Street. Pell Street and Doyer Street, we all light up already. So throughout this year, every couple months, we've been adding more blocks of lights into Chinatown. So.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So we'll look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
And also, I know you mentioned this a little bit before, taking selfies at Chinatown even helps. But how can, for our viewers out there, how can all of us continue to support Chinatown?
It doesn't cost you anything. It's just promote the neighborhood. Media moves so fast these days that one day we're news, the next day we're not. But to really want to help Chinatown, you need to keep the neighborhood relevant, whether it's promoting me, promoting other groups, promoting things that's happening in Chinatown all the time. Keeping Chinatown in the news cycle, keeping Chinatown relevant is one of the ways we can help the neighborhood, save the neighborhood. Like I said, the quote I live by, a simple act of kindness creates endless ripples. This is what I do now. If I'm not doing my own projects, I'm helping out with other projects of friends and other groups and organizations. It keeps the neighborhood relevant. It keeps it in the news cycle. At least people know that there's always something going on in the neighborhood. There's always eyes looking at what's next in China, what's going on. It keeps the neighborhood not only fresh, but it keeps in their mind that Chinatown needs help.
So I think that's a very important thing to keep in mind. So one of our goals here at Americasian Mosaic, obviously, is also to amplify the voices of our Asian American community. So yeah, we'll definitely keep that in mind to keep our presence in the media too.
Yeah, because it's not I think it's a we thing. We gotta learn how to shine a light on each other. Being more selfless, it helps. Yeah. Especially when you're seeing the bigger picture. If you really want to help the neighborhood, try to shine the light on each other. I get it. You want to build yourself, which is great. So you have a bigger voice, you have a platform to speak. But once you do, what are you gonna do with it to amplify it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now we've concluded with our bakery and all your overview section. So thank you so much for giving us that information.
No problem.
Moving on to something that we know that you might enjoy. So Shuprada, could you start us off with this?
Yeah, so we heard that you love karaoke too. What are some of your favorite songs to sing?
Do it. It gotta be Shallow. How Far I Go from Moana for sure. I'm a big country music fan, so Kane Brown, Uncle Cracker. I could keep going.
Well, that's great because we have the perfect game for you to play today. So we're going to be playing Guess the Song, and for our viewers out there, basically how this game works is that we'll be giving Patrick a few lyrics from a song, and then he needs to guess what that song is. So Patrick, are you ready?
Oh my god, alright. I'll fail, but okay, let's see.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say the lyrics because I'll be honest, I kind of forget how this one goes. But you're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythm and blues.
All of Me by John Legend.
Yes. All right. The next one is some people live for the fortune, some people live just for the fame, some people live for the power, some people live just to play the game.
Is that Eminem?
And Eminem?
Eminem?
No, it's actually...
No, Fort Lee. No, Fort Minor, right?
No,
bad
it's
at this.
actually If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys.
Okay. I'm bad. See, I should know. I'm bad at this. All right. 1 out of 2. All right.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
All right. Then in West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days.
Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Will Smith.
All right. And then the next one, this one's kind of fun. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's
Little Mermaid.
Yes. Do you know which song?
I got Gasmus and Gizmos. I'm trying to. I even know the melody.
Yeah, it's part of your world. But yeah, we'll give you the point since you got it anyways.
Okay.
And then it means no worries for the rest of your days. It's our problem-free philosophy.
Akuma Matata.
Yes. All right.
Oh, okay. I'm a big Disney fan, so Disney is kind of easy for me.
All right. I guess we'll go a little bit harder then.
Okay.
The next one is I've paid my dues time after time. I've done my sentence but committed no crime.
I don't know this. Can't. I don't know this.
It's We Are the Champions by Queen. All right, and then last one.
And anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain. Don't carry the world upon your shoulders, for well you know that it's a fool who plays it cool by making his world a little colder.
Yeah, I'm definitely bad at this. Without the melody, it's hard.
For a hint, this one's by the Beatles.
Yeah, no music, it's hard. I can't think of any.
It's Hey Jude by the Beatles.
Okay.
All right, well,
Yeah,
I guess we'll give you one last easy one. It's don't let them in, don't let them see, be the good girl you always have to be, conceal, don't feel, don't let them know.
Let it go.
Yes. Awesome. So I think that's 4 out of 7. All right, well, congratulations. You still got over half. So thank you so much, Patrick, for taking the time to do this video with us. It really means a lot that you're able to come on our channel and talk to us a little bit about what you've done. And also thank you to everyone out there watching our video.
I don't know what to say, but just support the neighborhood. It's easy. It doesn't cost you much. Just any way you could promote, amplify, shine lights on each other. Like I said, a simple act of kindness creates endless ripples, and just keep doing you, keep helping each other, and don't stop on what you believe in. Just stick to your gut, and that's what I do best. I stick to my gut, and it got me into where I'm at. So yeah.
The Americasian Mosaic also conducted an interview with Patrick, and the article about the interview is out now, so it goes into more depth about what we talked today. And it's linked in the description box below, so be sure to check that out if you want to learn more.
And if there's anyone else you'd like to see recognized, there's a form in the description box that you can fill out, so make sure to go do that and like, subscribe, and share this video.
Yeah, definitely. And then finally, Patrick, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on my Instagram, Patrick Never Sleeps, MVR Sleeps, or Facebook.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.